coming full circle, I used to be a special assistant for the Division 330 Woodson Banneker Jackson Bay Division of the UNIA out of Washington, D.C. They had me as a missionary to the Midwest about 10, 15 years ago. And was blessed to meet Brother Obadeli when I was the communications director for Cynthia McKinney, and she had me down in Georgia for something that he was doing. So I'm very familiar with the PGRNA and the work that you all...
My brother is mute. Can't hear you, brother.
Oh, so I'm very familiar. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you quite well.
Okay, so I'm very familiar with the work that you all do. And so that's why I was asking about the plans and intentions for the PGRNA. Now, has the goal changed in any way? If yes, how? And if no, what are the plans for implementation? Either way, what are the plans for implementation? If no, I guess the bigger question is, because my problem that I had always with the strategy was, I don't understand why you would leave yourself flanked by Florida.
Okay, great. I appreciate that question. First, again, for those that joined and that are watching now, my name is Siphiwe Beleke. I am Minister of Foreign Affairs for the Provisional Government of the Republic of New Africa. But having said that, since you are talking about the current status, right, of the Republic of New Africa, right, first and foremost, the biggest issue facing us is the fact that we have a split in our movement, and there are dueling, contending provisional governments, right? So we have to be honest about that. This is, I believe, the third or not, if not the fourth time that there has been this situation where there have been dueling or contending provisional governments vying for consent and legitimacy. In the spirit of reconciliation, right, I have no problem announcing, recognizing that some who are on the other side of that split are on the call today, and we will give them the floor. But full transparency, the Republic of New Africa has a problem because it has this split in its government. I won't go into the details of what caused this split or how it was resolved, but your question was more towards the future. It will work itself out eventually. And my philosophy has been, do the good work that I can do on behalf of the citizens of the Republic of New Africa, with the government administration that supports my talents and what it is I'm able to do, because I am involved in international networks at a high level, and I am capable of conducting foreign affairs on behalf of our citizens. And because I have that capacity, I have a duty according to the Code of Umoja and the oath that I swore. So I believe that even though we have a split, that the work that I'm doing to get, for example, to renew our observer status at the African Union, the work that I'm doing behind the scenes, and I'm involved in forums that have many CARICOM and AU government officials. We have, Comrade Imari can attest to this, we have delivered letters to the African Union. That's not our only strategy. We're dealing with various countries. I went on a mission to Burkina Faso and met with my counterpart, His Excellency, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Burkina Faso. All of these things, regardless of which side that you are on, if they are successful and win recognition of our republic, is good for our citizens. That's my position. I am also someone who believes in the reconciliation process. I have made attempts at doing that. And we know the precedent of how previous splits achieved reconciliation. And so that is one of the major challenges. As Minister of Foreign Affairs, what I am doing is to build our legitimacy in international arenas in the hopes that You know that saying, a prophet is never respected in his own country?
Very well.
Sometimes it's like our people won't join us or get involved until outsiders recognize us. So if we can win diplomatic relations with the international community and they take us seriously, that we can be used in a campaign to bring to our people to say, look, the Republic of New Africa is still here. We're still struggling to free the land, right? We still exist. Now is the time for you to come in, get involved, because our task is to win the consent. And so if we can prove that we have trustworthy leadership, and one of the ways to do that is to show that other world leaders recognize and trust us. Okay. So other aspects of the strategy is not my position to speak on because I am not the Minister of Economics. I'm not the right. I can only speak on Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yes.
Okay.
So that's not a thorough and detailed answer, but it does give you sort of a broad understanding of where I'm coming from.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that answer. Thank you very much. I understand because the UNIA is in a similar space where there's a split and there's dueling governance structures that need to be reconciled. And that's problems, of course, that was the goal of COINTELPRO, to sow division and make it so that we don't work together. So, I pray the Lord gives y'all grace to be able to reunite and overcome the objects of the enemy that want to keep us down and keep us oppressed, because, there's a lot of hope going on in the African diaspora beyond here. And I've long said the only thing I want to participate in is something for restoration of our sovereignty. That sovereignty being here, Africans at home and abroad, as Garvey would say, whether it be here and or in connection with the AES and or in connection with Viva Ensemble out of Haiti, we need to be linking. And the integrationists have had a long time. You all waged the war. Thank you for waging the war, because the integrationists won in 1920s when they ousted Garvey. And they've had 100 years of integrationist strategy. And you all waged the war during that time to keep Black nationalism alive. But it's time that our people start to think like, how long should integration work? How long should it take before this integration thing kicks in and we gain what we're supposed to gain? Maybe it's time for us to revisit these strategies as a people. So I hope everything you just said comes to pass. And I appreciate you taking the time to give me the answer that you gave.
Yeah, those of us in the nationalist camp, and specifically the Republic of New Africa, we have already concluded, right?
Can't hear you, Siphiwe.
Okay,
it's not just me. Okay.
All right. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. We're going to call on you, Brother Beleke, in just 1 second. I just wanted to say that those of us in the nationalist camp, and specifically within the Republic of New Africa, we've already concluded the outcome of the integrationist strategy, and we're not a part of that. But at the same time, we recognize that they're going to continue to exist. Amari Obadeli said, then our job is, what kind of relationship are we going to have with them? Right? When we do free the land and have a sovereign nation that is functioning, we are going to want those integrationists to be our allies. Those people who have integrated and gone into the government of the Anglo-American system, we're going to want them to be our allies, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we have to think strategically. Now, I'm going to come back to, you made a point about sovereignty, the AES. I have something specific to say, and I can speak on it because it falls within my portfolio. But I want to give the floor to Brother Waldepele right now. Because
I'm going to miss it then. Bless his beloved.
We'll have the recording.
Awesome.
Give thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Yes, free the land.
I say thank you to everyone. It's a pleasure again to be with you. My name is Waldo Phillips. I'm a Haitian. I am one of the leaders in Haiti that united our people to fight for independence. We are fighting a war unstoppable. Every other week, every other month, it's a new threat to our people, to our nation. One thing I want to highlight to all my brothers here, the fight our brother Malcolm was doing, we must continue that work, that fight, by any means necessary. At the moment Malcolm was fighting the Black Panther Party, Haiti has the only nation in the world that have an indigenous army. That name was the Panther Army. We are the only nation in the world as an African nation, not only the first nation, but we are the only nation having an army called the Black Panther Army. So, in this movement today, whatever we may gonna do, whatever we're going to do, and I hope that we find a way, and we must find a way to unite the other front. Because as long as we keep divided, the enemy will find a way to destroy anything we do. And that's why we're fighting the most in Haiti, because everything we do, they find a way to infiltrate and divide it, and everything stops. So we need to find a way where we united ourselves, the United National Black Party. To every country, we have a representative, so that we have a power. We're so powerful that they have to come united with us. So we have to use the soft power that the Chinese is using. Okay? We don't have to use force. We use the soft power. Where there's going to be a way they have no choice is to join us. Because their wife going to be a part of us, their husband going to be part of us, so that we have no choice is to join us. That's why we have to do the fight. Now, the key to win the liberation for our nation, for the African nation and the whole, we must free Haiti. Because Haiti is the first nation, African nation that took their independence. And you got 4 Anglo-Saxon nations, the United States, France, Canada, and Britain, and Spain, 5 in total, the major ones, are continue fighting Haiti since 1804. 1806, they killed the emperor, the Saline. Since then, we are fighting them non-stop. So right now, they're using the UN. I was working on a project with the UN, with the FAU, to bring a dialogue in Haiti to bring peace. They infiltrate the dialogue movement, and they break it in half. So they can put a CP with the UN. So they put a 9-head president. Then now they're using Kenya to bring Republic Dominican, that's not even a country, to take over Haiti. So we as one nation, we as African nation, African people that live in diaspora, we must unite it as one. We need to speak as one voice. And this 2024, we cannot be divided.
Yes, my brother, let me jump in real quick. Yes, I think all of us here on this call, you're speaking to the choir. We know that we need to be united, and we understand the importance of Haiti. The Provisional Government of the Republic of New Africa has put out its statement in support of the Haitian Revolutionary Forces, right? So we're all in agreement in this particular forum. We're all in agreement with that. Now, I think Comrade Imani is back with us.
Yes, I am
Comrade,
here.
Yes. How much time do we have left?
Till 1 o'clock. An hour.
Okay, so we still have some time. I obviously, of course, and this dovetails to what Brother Ja was saying, right? The Republic of Haiti, the Republic of Burkina Faso, the Republic of New Africa, right? This is what I was saying. It's all one struggle. It was all one war in the beginning. right? It was all one declared war. June 18, 1452 is a declared war. It was an invasion. They invaded all of our African nations, all of our African states, right? They occupied our territory in Africa. They took some of us as prisoners of war. They took these prisoners of war across the Atlantic in various places like Charleston, South Carolina, San Domingo, Haiti, Panama, Honduras, right? And we suffered chattel enslavement, ethnocide, and then went through a process of ethnogenesis. So we already laid the basis of our unity. It's just one war, and we were occupied in our own land, or we were taken as political prisoners to all these other lands. It's one war, and it's one liberation movement with battlefronts on the continent, on both sides of the Atlantic. It's just one war, and it's one liberation struggle that is still incomplete. You have some nations that have achieved their independence and are recognized. You have others like the Afro-descendants in Bonaire. You have Afro-descendants in Martinique. You have Afro-descendants that are still fighting for the exercise of their self-determination, set up their governments and have them be recognized. The Provisional Government of the Republic of New Africa is one of those. Now, when I met with the Republic of Burkina Faso, we put forward a concept note how to diplomatic relations,